It's a very, very cold day here in Minnesota. Got a little bit of snow last night. About 4 degrees. Coming out to the garage out here. And yeah, I did turn on the heater a little bit for a few minutes before getting started here. It's currently about 35 degrees in here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it certainly makes it a little bit easier to work out here if I'm doing any projects or anything like that. So anyways, here's my 2005 Roadtrek 170. I bought this back in, when did I buy that? 2014. I bought this back in 2014, and it had about just a little bit over 100,000 miles on it. And the dealer was asking $30,000 for it at the time. I paid $27,000 for it. I talked him down a couple $1,000. And it was in a little bit rough shape. The lady that previously owned it banged up and broke up the front ground effect bumper on there. And I repaired it, repainted it, and actually I've repaired it several times because other people ran into curbs with it. Discount Tire ran into a curb with it 1 year after changing my tires out, and I had to rebuild it, repaint it, and everything like that. So no big deal. They paid me for it, so I was happy about that. But anyways, this is what the van looks like. It looks pretty clean. You know, for a van of this age, 9 years old. And best thing about this van, or one of the best things, is that it does fit in my garage. It's a tight fit. As you can see, the spare tire clears. The receiver swingway is just barely making it from the door. And yeah, it's a nice looking van. Some of the things that I did when I first got it, as soon as I got it home, I was surprised to find out that that the water pump went out. So I bought this van, got it home, and then all of a sudden I started having a big water leak underneath the van. So I took it down to the local mechanic, and he put in a new water pump, serpentine belt, AC belt, and I think he replaced the lower radiator hose. So it was all good there. And then I replaced the radiator cap, new engine battery, things like that, changed the oil and filter, and I've been documenting all the work that I've done on the van itself. It's been very reliable. I haven't had any major breakdowns or anything like that, but I do keep all the records of all the work that I do on this van in my booklet here. So if I sell this van, the next person will have a good history of what was done to the van or what wasn't done to the van. So I'll just keep that here. And this is the front of the van. As you can see, it's very clean. I had the radiator flush, the coolant flush, back in September of 21. It was time to do that. And I keep a nice clean air filter in here. Change that out, check it every year, change it out if it needs it. It's so inexpensive to do, so it's good to stay on top of it. The oil, this is the oil check, oil dipstick, and then this is the transmission dipstick. And of course, you always check the transmission when it's at operating temperature, and the oil you check when it's cold. This is the isolator back in here. That's a Roadtrek thing that they install on it. And then your standard brake fluid here and your power steering fluid right there. So that's the front of the van, what it looks like. And it's very, very clean. And then here I've got, oh, I should get my light to show you. I've got it plugged in to shore power here. This is the cable that I use, and this is what it looks like inside here underneath that that cover. I've got my white water hose there for direct fill for water, for drinking water. I've got my levelers, my leveling blocks over to the side, and then the power cable in the back wrapped around the Menards buckets. Inside the buckets I keep my little supplies like voltmeter, adapters, and such little stuff that I might need. And then we have the dump tank right here. So that's the black, this is the black lever you pull when you dump the black, and then the gray is over here. And so typically what you do is you drain all the black water first, and then after you're done with that, you shut this off and then kind of clean it or flush it out with the gray water, which is your standard sink water and shower water if you're taking a shower in the van. Okay, this thing I added, I kind of glued and strapped this thing down, but this is my my drain hose here, and I did this so I have a place to slide it. There's no other place to put this, and so I kind of got this piece of plastic pipe and cut the drain tube down so it would fit in here, and I would be able to close the door. So that makes it kind of nice after you're done dumping, and then if there's anything, any kind of little bit of water draining, it drains out on the bottom there. All right, and then we got back here. Here's your outdoor shower right there, your outdoor shower. And then actually, if you're going to hook up to water, direct water at a campsite, that's the brass thing that you see there. I put a quick connect on there so I can kind of hook it up and make it real easy. Before I had to kind of thread it on there, which is kind of a pain because you're down on your knees and trying to thread something on there. And then inside the bucket I have the hose that you can use for the outdoor shower. And I think I took a outdoor shower one time, and it works fine, no problems. So it is what it is. It does what it's designed to do. And then I've got my generator hooked up for the exhaust to the outside of the garage there. I typically run that once a month, and just to kind of keep it working, keep everything lubricated, and keep the carburetor from getting all gummed up and stuff like that. Here's your water heater right behind here. It's a 6-gallon Suburban water heater. And then this is the back of the refrigerator right here. So the refrigerator is a standard 3-way Suburban refrigerator. It runs on propane, AC, or DC direct current on there. And then of course I've got the furnace inlet and outlet vents there. And I put these little bug covers on there just to kind of keep bugs and insects out of there. Sometimes I guess the fumes or something like that sometimes attracts bugs to kind of crawl in there and make a nest. So I got that covered. Walking around the front of the van. And then we've got the tires on the van. I replaced those. That was probably the first big purchase that I did with the van. I got those in 2015. I put Michelin Defender tires on there and put about 30,000 miles on them. And you can see that they're still in really good shape, but I'll probably end up replacing them because they tend to kind of age out after 9 years or whatever. People say to replace them like every 7 years, but this van sits in the garage most of the time, so I think the sunlight doesn't age them or crack them as quickly as if it was sitting outside. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the way the van looks. And I'll just kind of take a quick peek inside here. as you can see what a Roadtrek 170 Popular looks like. Pretty standard layout. Nothing fancy, but it's got everything that you might need. I did recently get these covers, put these covers on so when the grandkids are in the van and spilling food and drink and stuff all over the cushions, that we have a way to kind of keep it clean and everything like that. But and I got the TV, DVD, TV player and everything like that in there. But you got your stove here, Suburban stove, works great. Your sink. Oh. Your water, I normally put water in here and keep fresh drinking water in there. We buy the water and there's just keep several gallons in the one of the cabinets in the bottom, and we drink from that. It does have freshwater tank, but I'm a little bit leery about drinking from that. Yeah, so I'll do a little bit more of an in-depth video on the inside of the van, but just kind of give you an idea of what the 170 Popular looks like. We love this van. It's great. The only thing I don't like about this van is that you sleep east to west, and so when we get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, you know, I got to climb over my wife and use the bathroom, then climb over her again, go back to bed and that sort of thing. I'd like to get a 190 Popular, which would have the twin bed version where you could sleep front to back, and then you wouldn't disturb each other when you are getting up in the middle of the night. So that makes it a little bit nicer, a little bit more room, and then also some of the 190s have a kind of a wet bath, so you can go inside and take a shower and have a little bit more privacy than the aisle toilet and shower. And so that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I should point out this becomes a bed too. So you can rotate the seat around here, and this becomes a third bed. So it will travel with, actually it'll travel with, how many people? 5? I think like 5 people, and then sleep 3 people if you make this into a bed after you turn the front seat around like that. So it is doable. It works out in a pinch. So it's a great little van. Get about 14 to 16 miles to the gallon. Drive it nice and easy. Built on the Chevy 2500 chassis, which is a very popular chassis, and the engine is a 6-liter engine, very strong engine, and the transmission, 4-speed transmission on there. So the newer ones, they use a newer 6-speed transmission, which gives them just a little bit better gas mileage, 1 or 2 miles per gallon better, but that's what it is, I guess. So anyways, 2005 Roadtrek Popular 170. We like it. Like I said, probably gonna sell it sometime this spring if a good used Roadtrek 190 comes up available. And that's it. That's my video on my Roadtrek van. All right, thank you.